Just kind of walk me through the decision of, what was the right time about now to step down.
Well, my oldest daughter, Bethany, plays soccer at YSU, and Zach's going to be going to West Liberty to play basketball. And my youngest plays volleyball at McDonald. Basketball is there's a lot of time involved, and I don't want to miss out on their activities. I don't want to leave games to have to get the, open gym. It's just time to be a parent and focus on their sports.
Mm-hmm. How tough a decision is this for you? Because, you did this once before and came back. So, you're not going into this completely blind. You know what it's like without basketball. You know what I mean? Because you've done it before.
Yeah, first, there's no coming back. It's my time has passed. 20 years as a head coach, 4 years out of champion, and 16 years at McDonald. It's time for someone else. When I took that year off, the intent was to walk away from basketball. And, I ended up coming back after a year, but that's not the case in this situation. Basketball's been great to me. I have a lot of things in my life because of basketball, including my job right now. But, it's just the right time for me. And I don't see a situation where I'm coming back and ever being a head coach.
Mm-hmm. Do you think you'll miss the competitive edge of it? Because, obviously you've done a lot of winning at during your time at the helm. I would imagine that aspect's got to be pretty difficult.
Well, two things that I'm absolutely going to miss: the kids. You have special kids, and you have, I've been a teacher for 25 years, and the relationships in the classrooms are special too, but they're not anything like your relationship as a coach player. Many of my players are like children to me, so I'm going to miss the kids. The second part, though, is the Friday night, the big game. I'm one of the most intense competitors you ever meet in your life, and those games are special. When you lose, it ruins your weekend. But when you win, those games are very special and they're fun to be in.
Mm-hmm. When you look back on your career, what do you think will be one of your more fonder memories?
Well, I in terms of games, I think that regional semifinal game where we beat Richmond Heights, they were undefeated, and we were also, and we beat them. And, that team was super good. And our kids just stepped up. Another game that stands out is the Youngstown Christian game or the Valley Christian game years ago, where we beat them at Struthers Fieldhouse in the district finals. They were awesome. And we were undefeated that year, too. It was just a great game. Coaching Zach was special. Not many coaches get the opportunity to coach their children, and not all their children have the success that Zach had. So, not just personal, individual success either for Zach. He won 2 district championships, 2 league championships, and won like 81 games over the course of 4 years. So coaching him was special, too, during that time.
What do you think the reaction when people find out that you're stepping down? What do you think the reaction is of local referees?
Refs, the older refs, they've been around me long enough. I don't think I bother them too much. Some of the younger refs, maybe a little bit. I have a good relationship with many of the refs. I'm the type that I'm going to be on you for the whole 32 minutes of the game. But, outside of that, I've coached almost 500 varsity basketball games in my life, and never have I once blamed the officials for a loss. And I never will. There's things that I could do differently or the kids could do differently. We have the ability to then go watch video and see what's good and what's bad. In terms of our teams, our coaching, and even the officials, they don't really have that ability. So, I have a tremendous amount of respect for the officials. I will never officiate a game in my life. I think they're crazy for doing it, but God bless them. But I'm sure some of them will be happy that I'm done.
So, just on a personal note, one of my favorite memories of you was a tournament game in Struthers where you were, notorious back then for not wearing tennis shoes but wearing dress shoes, and you would stomp your shoes so hard that your heel came off, and at halftime you came out of the locker room with that heel taped back on. Do you recall that? Can you kind of?
Yeah, I remember that. I had one of my coaches tape the heel. I'm a little superstitious. Even this year we got on a winning streak. I kept wearing the same outfit game after game after game. At that time I had a pair of shoes that, we were winning and I couldn't change them. And the game before that, the semifinal game, they kind of ripped. I tried to glue them together just to get through the season. It didn't work. And one of my assistant coaches then had to tape it during halftime. And yeah, I remember that game.
386 wins. There's nothing that you think will draw you back to try and get to 400 or 500 where these other guys were. You're content where you're at.
You know what, Ryan? I've never been concerned about the wins over time. For me, it's always about winning the next game. I think when we look back, there's some special moments. We had 4 undefeated seasons. We won 63 games in a row. But more importantly to me was just the kids and the moments, those great moments with the kids. I've been so blessed to have, first of all, great family, but in basketball terms, just great kids and great parents. In 20 years, I've really, only had a few minor parent issues, nothing major. So the kids have just come to work and did what we asked them to do. And we've all reaped the benefits of that.
Mm-hmm. Do you think you could have done what you did and had the level of success when you're talking about undefeated seasons and district championships anywhere else other than McDonald?
Well, clearly the tradition at McDonald is unmatched in this area in terms of football, basketball, cross country, whatever the sport is. They take a lot of pride. The kids take a lot of pride. The parents take a lot of pride. The school takes a lot of pride. I don't know. One thing that really helped us was, first of all, you don't win unless you have talent. There's no coaches out there that are winning unless they have talent. And we've been fortunate to have talent. But numerous, I don't even know, 10, 12 years ago, we went to that press style, and that really changed the way we played. And initially, it was a big surprise to the teams we played, and they struggled against it. And then it went from the defensive press to an offensive press where we just tried to score 100 points on you. And we had the people to do it. So I really don't know. I'm blessed to have the opportunity to have coached, started a champion for 4 years and, been at McDonald for 16 years. I don't know. Fortunately, we were able to win.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's a real compliment to you that so many people have struggled to practice each week to get ready for that type of style that you switched to, that now it's been emulated so many different times in so many different programs since you guys kind of adopted it?
Well, when we went to it, one of our problems was we didn't know how we were going to score the next year. And we had lost a bunch of kids, and we said, we don't even know how we're going to score. So let's make this a 50-point game. And what it turned into was we were scoring 75 and everybody else was scoring 40. The first couple years, we were forcing 35 turnovers a game, which is unheard of. The average team maybe turns the ball over 12 times a game. We were forcing 35 turnovers a game. And what I would go into the locker room before the season and say, I'd write it on the board, we have 3 goals. We want to get a shot off every 20 seconds, which is like 90 shots a game. We wanted to force 30 turnovers, and we wanted to get 20 offensive rebounds. And we felt if we did that, we would win a lot of games. And it worked out pretty well, obviously. But, that press turned into an offensive thing where now instead of scoring 70 points, we were scoring 100 points and giving up more points, obviously. But the pace of the game was so quick. And, it just evolved into things that I never imagined.